so excited to talk about this topic right now because I've been getting some questions, so I just wanted to talk about them. So, question: why don't I just solely teach with games like Kahoot or games like Blooket? There's another one, Gimkit, that's super fun. Why don't I just solely teach with those? Because they're so easy. You can create your own questions, just input them into the game, type them out, answer, and you're done. Or with these sites, you can search questions that are already made and use those sites or use those question sets. Boom, you're done. So why don't I just solely teach with those? Now, Kahoot, Blooket, those games are super fun. My students love them. So why do I spend time to create my own games? And games like uh, Jeopardy, matching games and memory games, game boards I like to use a lot. So why do I spend the time to create these games? One, I see, and what I've noticed in my classes is that with game sites like Kahoot or Blooket or Gimkit, it offers for a lot of spam clicking. So students are like, oh, that's the answer, that's the answer, that's the answer. They're not taking their time to answer the question fully or like fully process the information, what to do. So that I have noticed, they're just wanting to be the fastest one to answer it. And with that, they're also then that I teach multiplication classes, math classes. So the students who know the material really well always end up winning and are on top of the game. And then the students who need extra support, extra help, are not the ones necessarily winning the game. So I don't like that aspect of it. But students still like to play, but I can see some students are starting to get like, no, I don't want to play that because it's always the same students who are winning. So I, yes, spend time to create my own Jeopardy game boards, memory games, matching games, so that I can better incorporate all of my students' learning. And another reason I don't always use those games is because those games I feel like are really good at the end of a game. You are practicing and teaching something, teaching your content, and then at the end of your lesson, you can play this game. So it's a really good for reviewing. My students know this material. Now we're going to practice and quiz them on it, and that's at the end of the game. We want your entire lesson to be fun and engaging with a game. The entire lesson, not just the last 5 minutes of your lesson. So for example, let's use Jeopardy. I feel like that's a well-known game. So how do I teach that? What does that look like teaching with a game my entire lesson? So Jeopardy, you have created it, and then you're inputting in your questions. I use Google Slides to create mine. You have the entire slide to post and create your content. So you can add images to your question. It could be a paragraph of question, or it could be something you need to practice on. Now, practicing this group work is how I love to use and teach games with my entire lesson. So I have spent some time to teach my students a concept. Now we're ready to practice it. They have not mastered this skill yet, but we really need to practice and review and learn. So with Jeopardy, I'm going to split my class into 2 teams, or if you're tutoring, it could be teacher versus student, or if it's a really small group and you really need to practice and teach, then we can work on it together, all of these questions, and learn together. So let's use teams, for example. I have 2 groups of students, 2 different teams. So I'm going to have one group start, and they're going to choose, Jeopardy. So they have a list of columns to choose from, columns of different types of questions. So this could be like multiplication arrays. This could be word problems. This could be, if you're reading, this could be using certain word vowel patterns in words or in sentences, or if you're learning vocab words, you can use this vocab word in a sentence and find the definition. What does this word mean? All of this in your game. So team one will go, they will pick a column, and then they pick a answer, point value, 1 to 500 or 1 to 5, depending on how old your learners are. Play with those numbers so they're easy to add up. And it's that freedom of choice. They love the freedom of choice. What are we going to get in this question? So team one, they can work together to solve this question. And I'm also having team two solve this question, work on it, discuss it together as well, because I don't want that group just sitting there. So everyone's working on the same question, team one answers. And this is where you come in as a teacher. You are helping support your learners, help teach where necessary. They are working together. You want to guide their thinking to make sure it's like correct. You don't want them totally going down the wrong rabbit hole. So then they answer, choose a point value. They get that instant game elements that they've got points, instant feedback, and then it's team two's turn. Same process. Team two, they pick the question category, the points. So you can see how I am teaching my entire lesson with a game, and it's super fun. Teaching with games help you stand out as a teacher. Students are going to love coming back to your classroom because they see that you are the fun teacher. We played a game the entire time in that teacher's class. I want to go back there because I had so much fun. Students absolutely love games, so I love making them my entire class. So, that helps you stand out as a teacher, and they're so fun to create. Don't let the creating the game part hold you back because it's fun and easier than you think. It's so much fun. So that's how I like to teach my entire lesson, with a game. Not just the last 5-10 minutes of a game. We want the entire lesson as a game, so you can stand out as a teacher and your students come back because you are so fun. You're just such a fun teacher. So I love using Jeopardy in my classroom. Board games. Board games are really versatile to help teach, and you can use in several different classes. Matching games, memory matching games. There's a hide and seek game. That one, again, all of these allow for a lot of different question types. So you can, whatever content you're teaching, all of these games work really well. Okay, that's it. If you have any questions about teaching with games or creating any of the games, just reach out. I'm happy to help. And I hope you guys have a fabulous day. Thanks for joining me here, and I will see you later this week. Bye, everyone. Bye. Awesome.